Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be sharing a little hack with you today that I do to my eyebrows about every 3 to 4 months. This makes such a difference in my makeup application because when I go to do my eyebrows, when I do this little hack, it really does cut down on the time that it takes for me to get my eyebrows the way that I want them. So please remember to subscribe, like the video, smash that bell so you'll be notified when I upload additional content. I do have that giveaway coming when I hit 100 subs. I'm almost there, so be watching for that to drop, and let's just get right into this hack. So you have probably seen this hack before, and if you haven't, this is really a super affordable hack that makes such a difference in the boldness of your brows. And we're using none other than the Just For Men mustache and beard dye. Now for me, I am a medium to dark brunette. I don't color my hair. I've actually never had my hair professionally colored in 42 years. It's just something that I do not do, but no shame to anybody that does. Hope you're living your best life. But for my hair color, I use the color Deep Dark Brown. I also have the shade Medium Brown, and I kind of just rotate between. I like the deeper color, this particular one, in the winter, and then in the summer when I don't want my brows to be so bold, then I will use the Medium Brown. But what you're going to need, I will list down in the description box. You're going to need your dye, whatever color is going to be the best match for the eyebrow color you are looking to achieve. A spoolie with a little, this is just a double-sided with a spoolie on one end and a little brush on the other end. And then either your Vaseline or your Aquaphor, and we will go through the steps of how I use this, and I will show you guys a before and an after photo. It's a very subtle difference, but it's a difference nonetheless. So one of the very first things I do is I take my spoolie and I just make sure that my eyebrows are brushed in the direction that I want them to be laying when I apply the dye. The next thing I do is I take my Aquaphor or Vaseline and I just get a little bit on the end of a Q-tip and I go around my entire eyebrow with the Aquaphor. And what this is going to do is it's really going to protect the skin around your brow so you don't accidentally dye that part of your skin. This is a really important step. Do not skip this step because it really does almost make this bulletproof as far as messing up and accidentally dyeing any areas that you don't want dyed. So, important step, don't skip it. I just do both eyebrows like that. I go all the way around the eyebrow with the Aquaphor or the Vaseline, whichever you have. In your little kit, you are going to have the color developer and the color base. It comes with this little tray, and I just put a little dollop of both of the developer and the base. It comes with this little brush, and I just use the tip of this little brush to just give this a quick little mix. You want to make sure that the developer and the base are mixed up really good. So just spend a little time getting that mixed up. It does not take but just a tiny little dollop of both of those products because you don't need much product. It does not take much at all. So you just want to give that a quick little mix. And because it takes only a little dab, literally a tiny little dab of the developer and the base, a box of this is going to last you for a very long time. I'm ashamed to say that this probably is expired. I think I have had this for a year or 2 years. I know that's super embarrassing, but I'm not throwing something away if it still works like it's supposed to. And even though this is probably expired, it still performs the same as it did the first time I used it. So why throw a good thing in the garbage? With a very light hand, I have dipped the end of this double-sided brush into my dye. I just dipped it in there so I have a little bit of product on there. And I'm pretty much just going to go with the grain of my eyebrow. So I'm just laying that product right on my eyebrow. Same concept if you were coloring your eyebrows in. That's, you know, essentially what you're doing is you're just coloring this dye into your eyebrows. And I just be sure to go with just the natural way that my brow lays is the way that I go. So I just be sure to continue to make sure that I have those little hair follicles really coated with the product. I go over it a couple of times. I'm not going to bore you to death with watching me do that, but just know that that's super important to make sure that you get all of your hairs coated. And this is where that Vaseline is really going to come into play, because if you accidentally get a little bit of the dye, you know, on the skin around your eyebrow hair, then when you go to wipe the Vaseline off, it's not going to stain your skin because the Vaseline is not going to let the dye penetrate into your skin. This is definitely going to probably freak you all the way out when you see how dark this gets, but it's okay. It will completely wipe away and you will go from looking like a clown to looking like your eyebrows have been professionally done. So do not leave this on your eyebrows any longer than 5 minutes. That's about how long I leave mine on there, 4 to 5 minutes. And then I just take a cotton pad that I spray with alcohol. I keep my alcohol in this little spray bottle because it's more convenient. I spray this with alcohol and then I really gently just wipe the dye off of my eyebrows, and in just a few minutes I will come back and show you what they look like after I have removed the dye. But don't freak out, this is normal. Just a little update, we have had the dye on there for about 3 minutes. It is horrifying. The first time I done this, I've been doing this for about 3-4 years, and the first time I done it, I chickened out and did not leave it on there the full 5 minutes. Trust the process. I promise you that as long as you are using that Vaseline Aquaphor around your brows, then you have nothing to worry about. This is going to remove beautifully. But yes, it is horrifying when it is developing and you are thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to look like a complete clown? No, you are not. It does remove beautifully. Okay, so it has been 5 minutes and we are going to just take our little cotton pad, give it a nice little spray with alcohol, and I will show you guys how beautifully this removes. It just wipes away, and I'm sure to go back and forth in the brow to make sure that I get it all removed. And same with this side. I just give it a wipe and make sure to go back and forth to get all of that dye removed from the hair. And that is such a beautiful, very subtle difference. As you can tell, it did not stain the skin around my eyebrow. It really does just dye those hairs. And this makes me doing my eyebrows so much quicker because they just look fuller. It is such an affordable little hack that you can do at home. It really does give you a fullness to your eyebrows. Of course, if you wanted to leave this on there longer than 5 minutes, then be sure and understand what you're doing, but it's just going to continue to get darker. So if you wanted a more intense, you know, a deeper look to your brows to give them a little bit more of a depth, then you could definitely leave it on there longer. But in my experience, I find that 5 minutes is a sufficient amount of time for me to give me that look I want. And if you guys try this, please let me know what you think. If you've tried it, let me know what you think. The way that this cuts down the amount of time it takes me to do my brows, it's 100% worth it, because when I go to fill my eyebrows in, I really just have to focus just barely on the front right here. You know, I don't have to do as much as what I would whenever this is wearing off. I find for me, when I've done this, I can do my eyebrows in 2 or 3 minutes each side, versus when the Just for Men is completely worn off, it takes me more like 5 to 7 minutes to do each brow. So anytime I can find a hack that makes life just a little bit easier, especially on those busy days when we're literally trying to get ourselves out the door, it's always a win-win for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you have any recommendations for any skincare products that you think I need to try, or if you have any hacks, doesn't have to just be beauty related, but any type of hack that has just made your life a little bit easier, then be sure and leave me a comment as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you in the next video.